Welcome to the Movie Podcast. My name is Shabazz, and I am one of your hosts. Alongside me, I've got one of Michael Corleone's left-hand guys coming out of a wicked swine flu-looking thing. Anthony, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm a little sick, but
yeah, you look like you're about to fall asleep.
yeah, I might fall. I might hit my head on this mic.
Yeah.
Having a little bit of deja vu from an episode a few weeks ago.
You're due to get sick, and the one talking right now is the Angry Bird himself, Daniel.
Eyebrows.
Daniel, how are you feeling today?
Oh man, I'm feeling so many things today.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
We're living in a post-Endgame world right now.
We are living in a post-Endgame world.
So I'm just trying to come to terms with life now.
And as always, this is the Movie Podcast, so you can always catch us every Monday across all your favorite podcast services. If you want to be a part of the show, give us your comments, suggestions, and corrections. Head over to thistimewith.com/talk.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So we've had a very I feel like the podcast is almost building up to this week.
To this moment.
Yeah. We had 22 episodes. No, we have this is our 9th episode.
Yeah, episode 9.
We've built up to this moment.
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame. We saw it this week.
We did.
We're going to go into what some serious spoilers are later, and we'll definitely give you guys some time to, take the cassette tape out of your car,
throw your phone out of your window.
Throw your phone out.
Yeah.
Cassette tape.
I'm assuming they're probably listening to this on cassette.
You guys don't know that I put this podcast on a cassette?
Oh, really?
Why do you think it takes so long to distribute?
Exactly. So whatever you do, we'll give you some breathing room, and then you guys can crash your cars or whatever you need to do.
We will have an alert, right? We'll have an alert.
Yeah, so
we'll have an Amber Alert.
Yeah. So no spoilers at all at this part of the show. We're going to give you lots of warning before we dive into them, so don't worry.
Yep.
Yeah. My gosh, what a week. What a week.
So
Crazy week.
Let's jump into some of this news.
Yeah. Or actually, before we do that.
Oh, yeah.
So before we move away from Avengers, actually,
Daniel's
this whole
got
episode,
some special news for us.
Yeah, so
breaking news.
What's
the breaking news sound? That's it.
Sound the alarm. Boop. So actually, a big milestone, I think, for the podcast. So I'm so proud to announce this, that we're actually partnering with MoviePoster.com. Mm-hmm. So any movie fans out there, if you've heard of MoviePoster.com, they're pretty much the go-to source to get any poster you're looking for all forms of entertainment.
Yep.
They literally have like 1 million posters in their warehouse.
I've gotten a few posters from them, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Me too.
I've gotten The Town, and I've got The Town, which is my favorite one.
Yep.
And Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and we've seen them at Fan Expo. Anthony and I, we've checked out their shop in Toronto as well too. It's like a movie lover's heaven. So what's really cool is that we're actually partnering with them this week to give away an Avengers Endgame poster. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a couple ways that you, the listener, could win this. So what we're asking you is actually to write into thistimewith.com/talk. And all you got to do is tell us your favorite Avenger from Endgame. That's it. We don't need to know why. Just tell us who your favorite one is. Nice and simple. How does that sound?
That sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds good, yeah.
Movieposter.com. Again, this isn't a sponsored post. This is literally just us talking about, because we've used them before. What's really cool is if you sign up on their website, you get 10% off your first order. Super, super nice people. They give you the option to either ship it to you or pick it up in their warehouse, which I definitely encourage if you are from Toronto or the greater Toronto area to check them out, because, again, it's like I died and went to movie poster heaven there.
That's exactly what the store is, yeah.
If you're seeing this post, I guess if you're on Instagram and you follow us, you'll have another chance to win it as well. I guess a double entry. We'll have a post there. Again, just comment on that post who your favorite character from Endgame was, and make sure you're following Movie Poster on their Instagram feed. Again, we're going to have that all in our post on Instagram, so you know how to enter. Thank you so much, Movie Poster, for providing us with that poster to give away, and hopefully it's the start of more giveaways on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really cool, right? Yeah, cool. But yeah, Shay, I'll kick it back to you for the news.
Kicking it back to me. Let's jump into some news.
Yeah.
So this news... Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Do it again. This is really good stuff, guys. This is really good stuff.
We're on a roll right now.
Yeah, one day we'll actually make that into a soundbite, but I like that it's off the cuff. So again, Avengers Endgame pretty much came out Thursday, I guess, early screenings.
Thursday night, yeah.
It's Sunday that we're recording right now, so the box office total It's coming from Brad Brevet of Box Office Mojo. Avengers Endgame decimates record books with $1.2 billion global debut.
Unreal.
Do we know what countries were part of that global debut?
So the only countries, from what I was reading, the only market that hasn't opened up in is Russia.
Oh, okay.
But everywhere else in the world, this movie is
China
open.
too?
China's open as
China's
well too.
open.
Yeah, if you click the link in our show notes, this will break down all the countries that it's opened in.
I see it.
But Mike, it made $60 million alone on Thursday night.
Yeah, $330.5 million in China. Wow.
It's this, like, again, we were predicting, we are almost like, our pipe dream is like, imagine it makes $1 billion in its opening weekend.
Yeah.
And it said, let's beat that.
Yeah. I was saying like, oh, maybe it'll do like 800-900 million, but I didn't. I mean, 1.2 is more than my expectations.
No, I would have picked.
This guy saw the future, right?
1 billion.
Anthony saw
For
14 million futures, and this is the one that he said this is where they
Wasn't
make all the
that
money. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have bet on $1 billion this weekend. My biggest thing was how much it made domestically, like
Yeah.
how much it made
In North America.
North America, which was
Over
350 million.
Yeah, the final numbers aren't in, so it's saying 350 million plus.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, again, an insane number.
Right.
And then when it makes Infinity War look so small compared to it,
Oh,
right?
100%.
It's made almost like 100 million more
Exactly.
than Infinity War did, and already that was
And
unheard
Infinity
of.
War had the it had the record beforehand.
Yeah.
250 million?
257, I think
Yeah.
it was, which is just like, you're seeing these numbers and it's mind-boggling. This movie has already made more in 3 days than Captain Marvel has done in its entire run in 52 days. And it's funny because actually Captain Marvel came in second this weekend.
Yeah.
So you could tell people were hyped because they went to go see a movie that was
Precursor.
a precursor to it. You know what I mean? And they put it back on the
8 million this weekend, and the Cursed Little Lorna just sits. But we'll get into that when we talk
Yeah.
about the box office.
unreal.
Unreal.
Very
Absolutely
good for
crazy.
them.
Is it deserving of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's deserving of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Now this saying this, do you expect the next versions of these movies to encompass bigger budgets than
What they've normally been getting?
normally? Yes.
I don't know, man. Honestly, like, Marvel's been pretty like their, I guess their origin stories have been sticking to about 150 to 175 million opening budgets. Maybe with this they'll be like, hey, let's throw a bit more money on it, but do they need to? I don't know. Like, what do you think, Shay?
It would be nice. It'd be nice if they did, because why not? Like, you clearly are making them. Like, this movie did 1.2 billion in its opening weekend. That's the budget for both Infinity War and
more.
this movie.
Yeah.
Endgame and Infinity War were rumored to have a $1 billion
500 million each.
Yeah,
Like a
so,
billion,
so
yeah.
basically a billion total,
Yeah.
right? So this one movie did more than that. So I think you should. I mean, Captain Marvel, again, smaller budget Marvel film,
Right.
as you could say. I think it would have been even better if it had a bigger budget.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Why not? So if you can afford it, why not?
I
But
mean-
I kind of hope they. I mean, yeah. Go on.
No, I was going to say, if you look at the jump, I guess, of effects between Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and Volume 2, like, Rocket and Groot look phenomenal.
Amazing.
In Volume 2. And not to say they look bad in 1, but, like,
No.
the comparison of the visuals of it is, like,
You notice it.
they're going to throw that money at ILM and Weta to do more, maybe take on
Do they,
more of the
do they
effects.
partner with Weta a lot?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think Weta did Thanos, I believe. I think they're the ones who did the sculpture and the facial capture and everything. like that.
They're good at that, though. So
Yeah,
why not? right?
fantastic. Yeah, what a movie. Again, we're going to get into our thoughts on the movie
Later on.
later on in the episode.
Very spoilery.
Very spoilery.
Yes. But yeah, moving on
what an
from this amazing debut for this small indie film, Avengers Endgame.
Avengers Endgame it was called, right?
Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, to be honest with you. Moving on to some more Marvel news. Spider-Man Far From Home will now be ending Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not the beginning of Phase 4. This comes from Just Lunning. Is that his name?
Just Lenning, yeah.
All right, Newsweek. Yeah, so Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has revealed at the Shanghai-based fan event for Endgame that Phase 3 of the MCU will actually be concluding with Spider-Man Far From Home, which is now coming out a couple days earlier on July 2nd.
Yeah.
Really wanted to capture that July 4th weekend,
Yeah.
box office thing.
They did something similar with Amazing Spider-Man in 2012.
Yeah.
That movie came out. I remember it came
that
out
at all.
on July 2nd as well, too. And
Right.
brought it
And they
sooner.
also have done this before too, where they've said that a movie is now going to be the end of a phase. Versus like when Ultron and Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Ultron was supposed to end Phase 2.
Phase 2, you got
and then
it.
it ended up being that Ant-Man was ending Phase 2. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're doing this. I kind of like that they're doing this, keeping Phase 4 kind of like a clean slate right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think they're gonna take some time now, or do you think that they're gonna go right into it?
I think knowing Disney, like they want to make more money, so they'll just keep going as hard as possible.
It's possible. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think
wouldn't be
they would
surprised.
pause because the whole thing is continuing this momentum.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing that with Star Wars, are they not? Are they not taking a little bit of a break right after Episode 9?
Yeah, I think Kathleen Kennedy said at Star Wars Celebration that they're planning on taking a bit of a breather.
Yeah.
But again, it's not like we're not going to get more Star Wars because we're getting the Disney Plus
Mandalorian
shows.
and everything. Yeah.
And same with Disney Plus, we're getting shows based on characters as well too. But I think if as far as like Avengers goes, I think it's going to be more than we've seen an Avengers movie every 3 years since 2012. So I think they may take a bit of a pause on that.
Yeah.
And again, from rumors and things like that, again, nothing's been announced, but I think they're going to really start to try and introduce some newer characters into the mix.
Yeah.
Yep.
They need to, right?
Yeah. Crazy. Again,
I'm really excited for this Spider-Man because if this is ending
Phase 3.
Phase 3. What did they call this phase? They call it the Infinity.
Or they called this entire arc of movies. So from Iron Man to Endgame, the Infinity Saga.
Infinity Saga.
Yeah. Kind of like Star Wars is the Skywalker Saga.
Skywalker Saga.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens after the Spider-Man.
Right.
Like an end credit scene.
Yeah. What they address, how they address what's happened in Endgame.
And then hopefully we get some news later on in the month or a couple of months later.
I think Marvel will probably have their own event like they did 5 years ago at this point.
D23 is coming up when? Because I mean,
August usually?
They could do that, right? Because
Yeah.
if this movie's coming out July, a month right after D23, easy.
Why not? Yeah, just announce their whole slate or like they did for Phase 3 and I think they did in October 2014
Something
where they're
like
just
that.
like, hey, here's the next 5 years of movies from us.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, and they can do that, you know?
Yeah, they can.
I don't think we'll see them at Comic-Con, in all honesty.
No.
I don't think they need to.
No, they don't. They're done with Hall H.
Oh,
I
definitely.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. We've got Ben Affleck, Benny Aff, as we call him around here.
Yeah, Benny
Or
Aff,
I just
you
call
know?
him that.
Yeah.
He's going to be starring in, directing the true life World War II story Ghost Army. And obviously, who writes this in?
This is from our boy Boris Kidd.
Boris Kidd. Boris from The Hollywood Reporter.
It's funny. I was I retweeted this and I sent it. I think I sent it in our movie group chat. That Boris Kidd posted his article from when Robert Downey Jr. was first cast as Iron Man from 2006. Like he found the article and he posted it.
He's been around for some time.
Yeah,
for this.
Boris is our boy. You know.
Yeah, Boris is our boy. So Affleck will be starring in and directing in the Universal Pictures project that is based on the book The Ghost Army of World War II, written by Rick Bayer, Elizabeth Sales, True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto. How do you say this name, Anthony? You're Italian.
Pizzolato.
That's what I was going to say too. Wrote the latest version of the script, and he's working from an earlier draft by Shazam scribe Henry Gayden. I'm really surprised that he's with Universal on this one.
Yeah, not Warner Brothers because
Yeah.
Warner Brothers has been his
boy.
bread and butter since
Bread and brother.
bread and brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did The Town and Gone Baby Gone were with.
Gone Be Gone, I think was.
I thought it was Universal.
Yeah,
Gone
The
Baby-
Town and Argo are Warner Brothers for sure. Live by Night was Warner Brothers as well too.
Yep.
But yeah, Gone Baby Gone
I think it was Miramax. Right?
Miramax.
I'll double check.
We're gonna
here.
get a quote on that. But did you guys see what
Good
the
old
premise of
Miramax.
this?
Yeah, it was Miramax. Yeah.
Did you guys see what the premise of this movie was?
No.
So
I'm guessing. Is it a paranormal movie?
No, so it's basically like how this, I guess, infantry used almost like special effect tactics in order to take on the enemy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cool.
so almost like I don't know why Home Alone came to my mind, but like it's like I guess this group use like a special method of like attacking the enemy, like with like smoke effects and mirrors and all that kind of stuff in order to.
Oh, so Mysterio's confirmed.
Yeah, Mysterio confirmed for this movie as well too.
I feel like there's so many different stories from World War II.
Yeah,
there's a crazy amount of stories that will come out of that war. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm a sucker for World War II movies.
Yeah,
it's just there's something about that time of the world that it makes anything that was going on almost like believable. Like that's why I love like even Captain America. Like I'm not like if you were to tell like people were experimenting and stuff like that. Like I love that idea. So like it's cool to see, and I'm excited that Ben Affleck's gonna be behind the camera again. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, I love seeing behind the camera.
Yeah. Good for him
too.
Yeah, and again from the True Detective, Nick is going to be part of it. So like, why not?
Why not? Nick Pizzolatto.
Yeah, Pizzolatto.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. I mean, it's going to be a good time. Next story today that we got, it's an interesting one because we just talked about this as well pretty recently.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, that's how recent it was. We'll never be able to pronounce Sinemia.
Yeah.
Their theater subscription is shutting down in the United States. So we talked about Movie Pass.
Yep.
And we talked about how in Canada here we at least have Sinemia.
Sinemia.
And so following from last week, after quickly rushing through a series of plan changes and account terminations, the Sinemia app service has announced it's shutting down. A note on the front page of its website confirms what subscribers have suspected, citing unexpected legal proceedings. And we talked about it too, that MoviePass is suing them.
Yeah, which again, why? Okay, too much.
Lack of capital too. The company has responded to inquiry about whether or not they'll continue on in other countries, or they've gone pretty much dormant on social media. So this is coming from Richard Lawler from Engadget.
Yeah, so this is not a good sign. When they kind of just ghost their customers, I don't think that's.
You shouldn't be ghosting your customers.
How long have they been around?
I don't think Sinemia has been around for.
I can take a look into that.
A year or two.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like we've spoken about this before. Like until there's a movie ticket service that's like through the theater.
Yeah. Like
I have a hard time backing anything backing it because it's like I don't know if I'm just kind of throwing my money away. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It makes sense. Like you're buying a ticket from a middleman.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to, I don't know, build an infrastructure for that. It makes sense to do it through the actual cinema.
Yeah, like why would you? Yeah, again, there's too many questions.
Yeah.
And this reminds me, a few years ago, Cineplex Cineplex here in Canada, they had like this summer movie event where I think it was like, I can't remember the exact price, but basically you bought in.
I remember this
for a pass, and you got like. It was basically access to, I think, was it 6 movies? Mm-hmm. And you basically, it's like buying it in bulk, like buying like a movie ticket at Costco.
Yeah.
And like it was on your account, so when you went to go redeem a ticket,
yes,
it was like, oh, take this from my summer movie account or whatever it was, right?
Yes.
And that was a good deal, and I'm hoping we see services like that come back. But again, until it's incorporated by the movie theater company, AMC, Cineplex, what have you, then it's hard to.
Does it make sense for Cineplex to do some sort of feature like this, like for their customers, a subscription service? Would they make more money? Would they wouldn't they? I
feel like there's so many hands in the pot when it comes to movie theaters and movie distribution. So I'm wondering, like, people nowadays love subscriptions, and people aren't like us where they go to the theater this often. Like I talked to a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, I haven't gone to the theater in years," and I'm like, "Wow, that to me is crazy, right?" So
years. We didn't go for 2 weeks, and we
were feeling stressed.
And all the three of us were just like, "Yo, it's been too long. Like, what are we doing?"
Like, would you imagine then that a subscription service would solve this problem? Do you think that they would now be able to pull in more people frequently?
I think so. Like, again, like. If somebody is paying for a service, I'm hoping it's not like a gym membership where it's like people pay for it but they don't use it. But I mean, like a movie theater, at least you're getting some form of entertainment.
Like maybe to target like the more super casual viewers, the ones that literally come every once in a while. Like if they did like a $10 a month thing where you can watch one movie,
right?
That'd be amazing. That they'd really not lose any gain, I think, for one movie.
One movie for $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, but when you look at
because then you and I wouldn't sign up for that because what's the point?
But when you look at like on Tuesday, Cineplex has discounted. It's cheaper than that.
Yeah.
You could get a ticket for like $8.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true.
But then I just feel like it's so complicated with all the movie studios as well now too, because you know, like with a studio like Disney, I think takes a bigger cut of their tickets than. And again, I'm assuming this,
right?
And I feel like I've read this somewhere that Disney has a bigger cut of their ticket. Mm-hmm. So like, how would that work if somebody is going to watch Avengers 9 times, or just going to watch The Curse of La Lorna? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
You saw that actually this week, right, Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. But sorry, Shay was just giving Anthony this deep look.
How dare you watch that?
I didn't know you watched this. I feel like I don't know him anymore.
Yeah, but like it's just interesting. Like I don't know how that would break down on the business. That's just me thinking the business side.
No, you're right.
On the consumer side, I'm just like, give me something.
It's confusing because there's so many
go.
hands in the pot when it comes to this movie distribution style.
But if there's no restrictions of like, if they figure out what restrictions, or it doesn't work on Saturday night, or I don't know, something, whatever.
IMAX
screenings,
VIP screenings.
Yeah, Cineplex is.
I would pay for VIP screenings, 100%.
Cineplex has changed up their scene points as well too, which kind of
God.
threw me for a loop today as well when I was trying to redeem.
Just like they're not. There's literally, you go to the theater even to do time play. It's like you're gonna get 1 scene point. First place, 1 scene point. I used to be 100 scene points.
Yeah,
what happened? The other day, I read it and it said 5 scene points for the second place person. I'm like,
why do I?
What am I gonna do with that?
And it sucks.
What's the purpose?
I love time play. Like I love flexing on people in the theater and being like,
100%.
we are the best.
I'm a legend, you know I'm up there.
Time play legend. But again, like one thing, like the trivia not being what it used to be is one thing, but like just at least playing, like give me something to like make it worth it, make me want to connect to your Wi-Fi.
Give me that incentive, right?
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was going to, like, usually what I do if I have 1,000 scene points, I'll redeem like a large popcorn, large drink. And now it's not that. Now it's $10 off your meal, which is less than a large popcorn drink is, right? But I feel like and this kind of ties to this because like I feel like movie theaters need to be making things more welcoming to their audience. Obviously, when you see what Avengers did this weekend, people are going to the theaters, but to make this a long-term thing, like I feel like they need to make it more streamlined for people, right?
I 100% agree with you. I looked into it. Sinemia was founded in 2014.
Oh, wow.
So that's when they were founded. So they probably didn't launch until like, 2016, 2017 maybe?
And then
maybe
whenever it came to Canada.
Yeah. They announced their unlimited plan in Canada in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now it's poof.
Gone. Like the
snapped away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's the story, you know?
That's the way the cinema disappears, you know? Cinemia.
Let's talk about some trailers.
Yeah.
Mamma Mia, Cinemia.
Trailers.
Is that your trailers theme song?
I don't know, man. Is it?
Trailers.
Trailer of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Who's doing trailer? What's the trailer of the week, guys? Let's all say it together.
I don't know Gemini Man?
Godzilla, King of Monsters?
Yeah, I mean, that was good, too.
That was the scope. Can we just go into Godzilla, God of Monsters?
King of Monsters?
King of Monsters? My God, is there anything left on Earth after?
I know, like, literally.
They're destroying the Earth in this movie.
It's gone.
Like, people were upset in Man of Steel when, like, Metropolis got a little bit destroyed. They're literally destroying the world.
Like, it's gone, man.
I think they spend most of it in Japan. Is it Japan where Godzilla comes out of?
Japan's insurance rate must suck.
It must, dude, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
And it's an island. It's small.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a teeny tiny island.
You know, Nintendo, man. Hope they're okay.
But we got Raising Kratos. It's a YouTube documentary.
Yeah.
About God of War.
Boy.
Which we've all played here.
Yeah. Anthony, you played it, right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah, I love it.
Amazing game.
Corey Barlog, who is the director of God of War.
Yeah.
I loved like he's such a funny personality. So I loved.
We got to see him in person too.
Oh yeah, we did. I had a PlayStation experience. Yeah, in 2017. So it's nice to.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, Anthony wasn't
I have not met him.
He's not.
We also saw Hideo Kojima as well.
Yep.
That's cool.
And Nathan Drake himself, Nolan North.
Fillion.
He wasn't there. No,
he wasn't there.
But yeah, so it was cool. It's really cool to see this. Again, one of the greatest games ever made. So I'm glad we're going to get an inside look of that because, you know, we're all suckers for behind the scenes, making ofs, all that kind of stuff. So it's nice that it's going to be accessible because it's on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
Hopefully it's not a YouTube original, YouTube Red or whatever subscription service.
I don't think it is.
Just put it on the PlayStation.
Just
YouTube.
release it. Yeah. Then we got, which we just talked about right now, Godzilla, King of Monsters. Damn, like this
Godzilla.
Yeah, it's just I'm hoping for it to be really good.
Yep.
Do you take this movie seriously?
Of course, because it's real, right? It's based on a true story.
This is history, is it not?
This is based on a true story.
So here's the thing I'm dealing with. I watched the trailer.
Yeah.
And it's so dramatic. But then you realize it's just these monsters. And there's like this, you lose a little bit of...
They're trying to give you some heart.
Yeah, and you just lose it a bit. You just... you realize they're just monsters. Why am I... Well, like, should I care about them so much? And I don't know. Like, I feel like this monster universe that they're trying to create... Yeah. Because I think this is the same universe that
as
King
Godzilla
Kong,
and Kong Skull
Kong
Island.
and Godzilla.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just they're playing a dramatic angle to it.
Yeah.
And it's like now the people are gonna be friends with Godzilla.
This time we joined the
weird
party.
feeling. I can't connect with it.
It's giving me some Justice League vibes, and the reason why I say that is because they're rushing into it. It feels so quick that we are getting 17 of these monsters in one movie,
and that's the thing because like it's almost like I laughed at the trailer because it was like we've only seen like 3 of the monsters I think originally before in the first trailer.
Oh yeah,
and then they literally name drop like there's 17 of these now. I'm like, oh my god, like
so are they like half good, half bad?
I don't know, like, and that's
we
the thing,
know,
like
right?
based on what
they
we're
don't mention
seeing.
King Kong.
No, not yet.
I don't think
but Kong versus Godzilla comes out next year.
Oh wow!
So that's already shooting and going to be coming out next because they moved it up. I think it's coming out in May or in March, one of those months.
I also with Millie Bobby Brown in this movie. Like, I mean, maybe obviously we haven't seen this film yet. So, but whenever you have like a little girl that's supposed to be like this like connecting tissue with the monster, I'm just kind of like really like it just seems so.
It's like you've seen it before.
I've seen it way too many times before, and like her connection to the monster is gonna be really silly.
Yeah,
and overall the film is gonna be silly, but I don't know.
It looks good. Like
visually
it looks amazing.
I've been loving their choice of music in these trailers. Yeah, it's been stunning trailers. Like again, even though it's catastrophic, it's like still beautiful how they look like paintings, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what to expect. I hope it's just not like destruction porn the whole time. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and when I say Justice League, by the way, I only meant the fact that it rushed. It feels like it's like they're trying to get this big clash.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've had Godzilla came out in 2014, which was, it was. I think one of my favorite trailers still.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you see the movie and Godzilla keeps being cut away from it. Kong Skull Island I really liked.
Jordan Rogue Roberts.
And then we're having this, and then we're having King Kong vs. Godzilla next year.
So you're getting 4 films.
It's March 13th, 2020. I just checked.
Yeah.
So it just feels like it's a lot, and it's when you see the plot of this Godzilla, it's like it doesn't feel too different from the plot of the first Godzilla.
No.
It's like
he's come back.
Two creatures fighting.
Yeah.
It's
so I mean, yeah.
It's like you feel like I've seen this already
over and over again.
And then that leads to they're rushing everything into one movie.
Yeah.
And how good is a movie when you have all these things happening within 2 hours? Like,
also,
can
like,
they really?
How many stories can you tell?
Yeah.
Of the same thing, like Godzilla will just be fighting a monster,
right?
In every movie, it's literally like Power Rangers.
Essentially, that's what he does. But like this day and age, do we just continue doing that, or do we kind of
change it up?
Add some elements.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess we've seen different takes. I mean, Godzilla is not like a new IP. Like he's had hundreds of movies, right? These are just the Western movies of Godzilla. But like, even like I'm thinking back, like was it 1998 with Matthew Broderick? That one, like
97, I think, or
97, or sometime in the late 90s. That one came out, and we had a break from him for a while. And like, I just feel like just visually these movies look very similar. And I get it that they're coming in the same universe and everything, but I'm just hoping that we go in and be like, wow, that was a great movie. So
it's funny because as a kid, I loved watching the '98 Godzilla.
Yeah, I loved it too.
Me too.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I go back to it now,
and P Diddy or Puff Daddy at the time
was
his music video for it. He did.
Yeah. Man, what the '90s are amazing.
Who was the guitarist? There was the guitarist who
Slash.
No, it wasn't Slash. It was
Tom Morello. I'm just naming guitarists now.
Yeah,
Van Halen.
He's a famous guitarist, and it's his song.
Yeah. George Harrison. Okay, cool. Godzilla. Okay, I'll look.
We're gonna look into that song with Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy.
Come with me.
Wow. So the song I don't think has anything to do with Godzilla though.
Like you gotta go to Puff Daddy's house.
Jimmy Page. Okay.
Jimmy Page. Yeah. So it's Jimmy Page's song, and then Puff Daddy came in and remixed it, and then called it "Come with Me." And he's on the rooftop.
I remember there's a trailer for Godzilla '98 when there's a teaser trailer because the kids are at a museum and they're looking at a T-Rex, and it's back when Jurassic Lost World, I think, had just come out as well.
The year before,
was coming out, yeah. And the scene is basically them looking at a T-Rex, like bones, in a museum, and Godzilla's foot just comes down and crushes it.
So good.
They were just so like Roland Emmerich is super cocky, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
So he just comes in full swing and like, yeah, I'm making Godzilla, but he makes this like giant like iguana movie.
Yeah.
Instead,
that's exactly Godzilla represented almost like a dinosaurs type of creature.
It wasn't like that iconic like Godzilla look.
Yeah.
No.
It didn't look like a dragon.
Yeah, and then Godzilla had laid eggs in the stadium.
Madison Square Garden,
yeah. Well,
home the Knicks, right?
What a movie, man. I want to go watch that movie and just be like, wow, this happened.
I have it.
Yeah.
I watched it recently.
Why, man? How recent is recent, by the way?
Oh, very long
time. I would watch it. Who else is in it? Hank Azaria?
Hank Azaria's in it. I love Hank Azaria. Oh, and
Jean-Claude
Jean
Van
Reno?
Damme.
No, Jean Reno. Jean Reno is in it.
Jean Reno.
Yeah.
Jean Reno.
And like a bunch of people from The Simpsons are in it too. Like I was like Hank Azaria. But yeah, great awful film. It's a guilty pleasure.
That's a guilty pleasure movie for sure.
Yes,
for sure, that's a guilty pleasure movie.
Gemini Man. I didn't know they actually had already started filming this movie. I'd heard about it, but I didn't know they were shooting.
Yeah,
it
I think
already.
didn't he shoot this before Aladdin? I feel like I
did.
remember.
I must have slipped my mind. But Gemini Man, directed by Ang Lee.
Yeah. Is this his first movie since Life of Pi?
No, he did.
No, he did that war movie.
No, you didn't know about
this?
He
did a war movie.
Did he do a war movie?
Yeah, it was called
The War.
No, it was
I love how just self-correcting we are in this. Hold each other accountable.
Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk.
That's of course.
I remember that one.
That.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. We saw this trailer. Remember, it was like the soldier, and he comes out at the halftime show, and it almost looks like kind of like a.
Oh yeah.
Is it a musical?
I don't know if it's a musical, but it was just like we were watching this trailer, and we were like, what the hell is this? And the name comes up, and we're like, well, that's a bad name for a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gemini Man. This starring Will Smith. He's basically, is he like a mercenary? And then he's playing, I guess, Will Smith, how Will Smith is in all his movies now in terms of like just being like
Will Smith
disconnected and like super.
It's very Looper-like.
Very Looper. And then basically he's being hunted by a younger version of himself.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the effects on this? Because it looks like we're looking at Fresh Prince of Bel-Air Will Smith right now.
It looks good at certain points, and then it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like it's the uncanny valley when you're
when you get to the front of his face, it's great. But there was that scene in the beginning. There was that side profile, and you could tell like
it's like something's wrong here. Yeah.
It's very interesting because Will Smith right now has been picking his films very randomly. I think now I think he's trying to do movies he's just never done before. I got a lot of like iRobot vibes when I saw this trailer.
Yes, definitely.
And what's really interesting is that he's shooting this film in 120 frames per second.
Why?
So he can slow it down.
I guess.
I would, probably.
But like only certain theaters will be able to show it that way. I remember when we saw
Hobbit,
and that was 48 frames, I believe, right?
It doesn't make sense. I don't know why you would want to watch a movie 120 frames per second. Just for those of you who don't know what that means, is when you shoot at a higher frame rate, it almost looks like it's live, like it's you're in
motion.
Emotion.
It looks like almost like it's going faster a little bit.
It loses a cinematic drop frame, which
so how much is a traditional film?
24.
Yeah,
24 or 23.9, which is
so it's like 23.9 still frames make up a moving
shot. And that's what creates the cinematic movie look. That's why when you watch that movie, it looks different than when you watch TV.
Like soap operas are filmed to 30 or
I think they're 30,
pretty much 29.97 or 30 frames.
Yeah.
But 120 frames, it's this fast. You're almost like you're in the movie, and it doesn't feel cinematic.
No, it's jarring. Like, and I remember when we saw Hobbit again, like Shay said, it was 48 frames per second, and yet not a lot of theaters did it. But like because that was the big hype thing for that movie, we wanted to check it out that way, and it just messed with me. Like it really
upset me.
It didn't. I didn't like the way it looked.
He did it because it was 3D though.
But he's doing it the same reason this time as well.
So he's making this movie 3D.
He's making it 3D.
Then that makes sense.
He also did the same thing with Billy Lynn's longtime halftime.
He shot it in 120?
120 as well.
Interesting. But again,
I thought 3D was gone.
I thought it was too.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time we ever really see 3D now is with big like blockbuster films in IMAX. But other than that, like I was hoping it was going away.
When we went to watch Avengers, I didn't know it was 3D.
Yeah.
But you can even tell, like, even the people, like, Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Yes, it was 3D, but they never used any of the 3D.
They don't use 3D like they did 5 years ago.
There's no like particles coming across you, and so it's just like this gimmick that you're. What am I paying for? Are you just paying?
Really, I guess,
are you just charging me more money so you can get more money?
At the end of the day, that's it. Because like when we saw like Shay and I, like the three of us, we saw Avengers Endgame opening night. Shay and I stayed to watch the following show, and that version that wasn't in 3D. And it's just like
day and night. I feel
it's just like it's a brighter movie.
Yeah.
My eyes aren't uncomfortable. Like it's just such a better experience.
No finger smudges on your glasses.
It just like I saw it when I saw Avengers today. It was an IMAX 3D, and it wasn't laser IMAX. So again, like I know we kind of sound like theater snobs right now, but
yeah, it's quiet.
Quite. But it's not that at all. Like laser IMAX, it's only at certain theaters. It's at least a brighter screen. So when I saw it today at like an older screen, it's like, man, this movie's so dark looking, and it wasn't when you actually see it properly, right?
Right.
I hope this movie's good. Gemini Man, I hope it's good.
For Will Smith's sake, I hope it's good.
Exactly.
Because he's just not.
He needs a couple wins.
And I think Bruckheimer's producing it. And
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't.
That's a name I haven't seen in a while. Yeah,
forever.
And they're marketing his name a lot in it, right? Like his name like appeared like from Jerry Bruckheimer or whatever. Like it's like
done recently. I'm curious.
Was it Pirates the last movie he produced?
Oh god. Oh, he's doing Bad Boys, obviously.
Makes sense.
Last movie he did was 12 Strong.
Which I don't remember at all.
Oh,
Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, he hasn't done much in a while.
But he's not like Jerry Bruckheimer from the 90s,
No,
80s, you know?
No, now but literally he's coming back strong right now. So he's doing obviously Gemini Man. Then he's doing Bad Boys for Life, Top Gun, on the next Pirates of the Caribbean, National Treasure 3.
My gosh.
Yeah, Beverly
Is
Hills.
National Treasure 3 still happening?
Supposedly.
Those are guilty pleasure movies for me 100%. As well too.
And Bad Boys 4, and also Beverly Hills Cop 4.
He always reminds me of Chuck Norris. He literally looks like Chuck Norris.
He does look like a Chuck Norris kind of guy.
Speaking of things looking like something,
what?
The Gemini Man poster looks like trash.
It does not look good at all.
Again, not to be negative, but my God, you have such an opportunity to have a cool poster, and I encourage you listening to this podcast right now, pull over your car.
Yeah,
pause
stop on the highway.
Pause whatever you're doing.
These people drive their own cars.
Who's
the people listening to our podcast?
I thought you were talking about these the producers.
What high class people are listening.
Man, so everyone that listens to our podcast is driving a Tesla, basically.
Bougie.
My goodness.
I was gonna say, type in Gemini Man poster and then just restore your phone after.
Yeah. Erase, go to settings if you have an iPhone, and then reset. Settings. Erase all content in settings.
My God, yeah, I just like you have. Again, we're talking about movie posters that you could get at movieposter.com, by the way.
Yeah.
But like you have such an opportunity to have a cool poster with this because it's a cool name for a movie. You have Will Smith playing a younger version of himself, and then it's such a generic looking thing.
Yeah. We're very we love our artwork for movies, so
it's part of it. Yeah. It's part of the movie.
What other trailers we got? We got 21 Bridges from the producers of I don't know what accent I'm doing. I have no idea what voice. What happened here? 21 Bridges. We got 21 Bridges, okay? Starring Chadwick Boseman, who does not have that accent actually. He does not. It's funny because I know Chadwick Boseman's voice before Black Panther,
right?
And then I see him in Black Panther. I'm like, that's a great voice. And then I hear his voice in this movie. I'm like, oh God, what is that? Like, it just sounds so different. Like it's his accent,
American accent.
Yeah,
you know?
But produced by the Russos.
Interesting.
I don't know who's directed by though.
Not too sure.
I can take a look into that.
But this is basically Chadwick Boseman is a cop, and he's going after these bridges, criminal. These
directed by Brian Kirk.
Sorry.
Directed by Brian Kirk.
Okay.
I don't like the poster for this movie either.
But yeah, basically the premise of this movie is that there are 21 bridges in Manhattan that they got to close down to try and capture this criminal. It looks like
what do they like they? I'm guessing they trying to cordon him off.
Yeah, exactly, and keep him contained to
very dark night.
Very dark night. Very the town opening. Like close the bridge.
I don't know how this movie's gonna do, and the reason why I say that is because it does star Taylor Kitsch.
What's wrong with Taylor Kitsch?
He's just.
I like Taylor Kitsch. Okay. Here's the thing. Not that I don't like Taylor Kitsch. I do like Taylor Kitsch. It's just he is cursed when it comes to movies.
It's sad but true.
He's like Jai Courtney almost. Like you put him in a film too vanilla, and the movie doesn't come out very strong.
But it's also like I feel like Hollywood for a time was trying to push him.
They were
in all these giant roles, like John Carter of Mars. He was Gambit in the X-Men Origins Wolverine.
He did really good as Gambit. He
was
looked
cool.
like Gambit.
He was cool. Hey, you guys remember when Channing Tatum was Gambit?
Yeah,
he still is, right?
Yeah.
Right?
He was even in the cast
Daniel?
photo.
Oh, God.
Oh
But the poster
gosh.
for this film takes a page right out of every single movie that came out in 2010 plus, where it's The Social Network.
Oh, like the big text
Yeah,
on the
like face with text on it.
Yeah.
The only way out is through him. Thor did it, and then every other film after in the world did that. So
Everything.
Yeah.
Martian, all these big
All
movies.
these big
It's
movies.
like default poster for
Yeah.
a lot of things.
You don't get to 21 bridges without making a few roads, you know?
I've heard that said before. My grandfather always told me that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Then we also got a trailer for Men in Black International. No?
And that's all we have to say
That's
about
all
that.
we say
No, I'm
about
kidding.
What do you think? Anthony, what do you think of this trailer?
I don't think I've seen it.
Okay, never mind.
I saw the last trailer. I don't know when did this trailer come out.
Didn't
This
you
week, I'm
see the
guessing?
trailer?
Yeah?
Because
Okay.
they accidentally uploaded this without the sound effects and
Yeah,
score.
so I watched.
You watched that.
I watched like 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes. Like
That's
a
the
2
end of the
second
trailer.
trailer.
I watched like 5 minutes of this trailer.
It's funny because like the last time that happened was with The Mummy, and it's just so funny hearing a trailer without all
Thank
the
you.
sounds. And
We can now use it for our stories. It's
We
really-
can, yeah.
yes.
We have-
We don't have to
Did
deal
we
with.
save
I
it?
downloaded it.
We
Yeah.
don't have to worry about scores.
But yeah, so basically, I would say of all the looks of the movies, this is probably the best trailer we've gotten so far for this movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson have great
Chemistry.
chemistry.
Yeah.
They also introduced my boy, Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
his character
playing
was funny though.
His character actually like
he an alien?
He's an alien, like a
He's
tiny,
like a little tiny alien. Yeah.
He's pretty funny. I just hope he's not like annoying.
Yeah, and like overly.
Usually when
yeah.
they're tiny, they are annoying.
They're annoying, right? Like half of the trailer, I was getting annoyed. I was like, oh, okay. It's
Like I just hope that he's just not the go-to comic relief.
Yes.
So it's like, oh my god, just stop with this guy.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
I don't think so. Chris Hemsworth is like he's comic relief on his own.
Yeah.
He's really good at
he's really
comedy.
He's really funny. Yeah, he's really, really funny.
That gives us our trailers. So we got some nice trailers there this week.
Yeah, it was a pretty good week for trailers. Do you guys have a trailer? What's our trailer of the
Trailer
week? Yeah.
I'm gonna say Godzilla King of the Monsters.
What about you, Daniel?
I was gonna throw my vote in for Gemini Man.
And I'm gonna hear you be the tiebreaker, and I was gonna say Men in Black. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm gonna give it to Gemini Man as well because
you guys are
it's our first trailer.
Oh.
It's the first trailer. That's why. Because
Right. We've seen
Godzilla,
Godzilla before.
and my problem with the Godzilla trailer is every Godzilla trailer so far has ended with the exact same last shot of Ghidorah and Godzilla attacking each other.
Yeah,
and they
it's
get closer,
the
closer, closer,
Rocky
closer.
3 ending.
Yeah.
Of them about to punch each other,
And then it
and
just cuts, and I'm
yeah.
like, okay, well, they just copy and pasted that. But I mean, yeah. Let's
Okay,
see
cool,
what
man.
happens. I'm sorry, dude.
I'm so sorry.
Next week, I'll say your trailer.
Yeah, we'll hopefully get some new trailers this week.
Yeah, hopefully.
Out this week, Long Shot, which I didn't know
Charlize
was coming
Theron
out. Yeah,
and,
I didn't realize
Seth
it was
Rogen.
coming out this soon, but that's great.
Yeah, I thought it was later.
Really?
Again, like I keep forgetting that May is like this week.
Yes.
'Cause in my head, we're like still in March 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're also getting UglyDolls, which, I mean, starring Pitbull.
and Pitbull.
I saw the trailer for this. I saw the TV spot. It
Yeah?
started off with the Avengers, like the whole Avengers type of font,
Okay.
and then it leads into this ugly
the old-
dolls.
the
What'd
old
you think?
switcheroo.
Are you excited for it?
It was dumb. It was so dumb. I'm like, oh my gosh, no one's gonna come and watch your
Do
movie.
you think this is going to unseat Avengers Endgame next
Easy.
week?
This dude,
Yes,
Avengers
UglyDolls is
should
gonna-
fear UglyDolls.
$2 billion opening next week.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared now.
What will we do if that happens? Somehow that happens.
I think we would have to quit the podcast.
Yeah, we would end the podcast.
Yeah.
That is a threat.
The next one that's coming out, and I've seen this trailer a couple of times.
I think we've seen this movie a million times as well too.
But like, The Intruder, starring Dennis Quaid,
Yeah.
Megan
Megan
Good,
Good, yeah.
and the other guy whose name I can't remember right now. This movie looks so silly.
Yeah.
Was there not a version with Samuel L. Jackson where it was racially reversed, where Samuel L. Jackson was the black neighbor or the black cop and the neighbors were either white and black or both white?
Something. Is this Tyler Perry's The Intruder?
It just looks so stupid. Like this trailer, like is he like a Trump supporter? That's why?
I don't know.
or-
It's just like one of those movies that we've seen a million times over about like it's just a home invasion type movie, and like
But I can't take Dennis Quaid like
Me
this.
either.
I don't believe that Dennis Quaid, the rookie, is
the rookie.
is doing this movie. You
No.
know, like that just seems stupid. I don't know. Whatever. And then finally, we talked about this earlier on the podcast, a few podcasts ago. Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile finally comes out. The Ted Bundy.
Yeah, on Netflix this week. This
Yeah.
Friday, it's coming out on Netflix.
Ooh, who's
So we'll probably have
excited to watch
it by next week.
Get to see Zac Efron's shirt off.
I'm excited to see Zac Efron's
You brought it up, so let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I hope it's good. Again, like
probably won't.
Did you guys?
Zac Efron's in
did you guys watch the documentary?
No, did you?
No, I didn't watch it.
Man.
I do.
With the tapes?
Yeah, the tapes, but it's same director.
Same director. I just Ted Bundy. I don't know. I didn't care enough.
Yeah. Again, like it's just one of those things that we spoke about. I think we spoke about on one of the first. I think episode 0 or maybe 0.5.
Maybe we did.
How the trailer was trying to like portray him as very like cool and like you kind of want to root for him, but also it's like he's awful.
Yeah.
So it's a fine line. It's a fine
30
line.
30 women more probably.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I'll probably try it. Put it on this weekend and give it a shot.
Netflix, it's so much easier to try and watch it. But
I wouldn't go to the theater to watch this.
No.
Yeah.
Is it going to theater?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Wait, is it having a limited release at least?
No. At least?
At least a minimal release, a tiny one.
Not that I've seen. I just saw May 3rd Netflix.
Did we talk about the Netflix being or?
Oh yeah, with the Oscars.
The Oscars.
Yeah, tell us about it.
So there's been a ruling that who was it? The FCC?
I think so, or just the Academy.
The Department of Justice. I think the Department of Justice.
Commissioner Gordon of Gotham City PD.
It all started with them.
Yeah.
Basically said that you can't rule out Netflix as
Netflix movies
because it becomes then a monopoly, right?
Yeah, I'm down for it.
So good for them.
Good for them.
So that means they don't have to go to theaters.
No, they don't.
To get Oscar nominated.
I must save them a lot of coin.
Yeah. Is that what the ruling was, that they don't have to go to theaters, or if
they don't have to. They don't have to go through the whole theater process that Spielberg wanted beforehand.
Oh, okay.
He wanted the movie to go through theaters, then show up on streaming services.
Got you.
To then be nominated for.
But do they still? Did the Academy rule change that you have to have 2 weeks limited release or something like that?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
But they could still. Netflix films are going to be eligible for Oscars.
Yes, they will.
Great.
So, give us your best Steven Spielberg being disappointed by this news, Anthony.
Yeah. What sound did you make when you heard this?
God damn it!
By the way, I found the film that I was talking about with Samuel L. Jackson, starring Kerry Washington and Patrick Wilson.
This was
Lakeview Terrace.
That's the one. Yeah.
Where he's a racist African-American LAPD officer who will stop at nothing to force out a friendly interracial couple that just moved next door.
A racist LAPD officer that's black.
Yeah. It's like,
and it's Sam Jackson as well, too.
What do they call it? Bizarro world, Elseworld.
That's some weird,
It's the opposite world.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
But yeah, it's an interesting week at the theaters. Again, I don't think anyone's trying to come and compete with Endgame right now.
No.
I'm surprised these movies even Long Shot. Because I want to watch Long Shot, but it's going to be a long shot.
These are like the anti-Avenger type movies. These are the movies that people who don't want to see a superhero movie, this is the kind of movies that like, oh yeah, I'll take my kids to UglyDolls. If you love your kid, you won't.
Yeah, my sister wants to go see it, and I was just like, "Don't do this."
Just take her to Avengers.
I will take her to
Avengers.
Endgame. We're gonna sit in the theater and I'll tell her it's UglyDolls, and then eventually Avengers will start. 3 hours later, she'll hate me.
Yeah, that's how resentment and siblinghood is founded on.
That's just love.
That's it.
Yeah.
But what have you been watching this week, Daniel? What did you watch? Since you only put Avengers on here, is that what you watched?
I feel like I watched something. I've been watching a lot of Always Sunny this week, just because it's just a nice thing to go back to.
Nice.
You know. Avengers Endgame, I think, was the biggest one. I know I'm forgetting something I watched. I forgot to add it to our run of show. So I'm just going to kick it over to you guys.
Oh, okay.
Don't judge me, okay?
For me, I watched Infinity War. That led to Avengers Endgame. I've been watching the OJ Made in America.
30 for 30?
30 for 30. Finished that.
How was that?
Very, very good. Probably one of the best documentaries I've watched.
So well done.
I love anything.
It's
so well done.
Really intense. An hour and a half. Episodes. They're about 5 episodes long. They showcase OJ growing up, from being this college superstar to this running back to the murders to what happened after. But then they also tie in LA. They tie in Rodney King. They tie in racism, and then how everything literally ties in together, and how his murder or the murder of Nicole Simpson became this,
and Ron Goldman.
Ron Goldman became this race. race.
Do you think
trial.
he did it?
Oh, 100% he did it. 100%.
It's a great.
If you don't think he did it,
yeah, he did it.
Like, there's
If
literally
the glove doesn't fit,
You must have quit.
yeah. There's literally blood in into his bedroom. Like, what else?
He literally said, "I killed my wife."
Right.
Yeah.
It's a great pairing to watch that after I would say watch it after the OJ FX series, the
Amazing series,
the crime series,
the American True Crime.
Yeah, so that's a fantastic. I've been wanting to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I just bought it recently on Netflix.
Yeah, so
it's a good.
You
series.
bought it on iTunes.
It's a very good series.
Yeah.
I recommend.
Right.
I recommend watching this beforehand.
Okay,
because the crime, that is more of a dramatic. It has like more of a dramatic,
for sure,
right,
look and feel.
What I'm hearing is that you don't like John Travolta's eyebrows in that movie.
Because they look like Daniel's eyebrows.
No, my eyebrows are a lot more plush.
Like an ugly doll. Oh, was that too much? I meant like ugly dolls.
Just call me an angry bird and leave it at that, okay? Actually, you know what? I did watch. I picked up Bumblebee this week. It was on sale on iTunes, but I didn't get to watch that yet. But I watched all the bonus features for it.
Oh, nice. Were they good?
So good, so good. What a great, well done movie.
Huge surprise.
Such a great surprise. We all saw it together.
Well, I sat 5 rows down.
Funny story. When we went to go watch it, it was an advanced screening that we actually had to buy tickets for because this movie opened up like 2 weeks early for one night. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, the seat beside us stayed open. And then Anthony still had to sit 5 rows in front of us.
But we kept signaling to Anthony to come over here.
And he just said, "No, I
How
will
was
not
I supposed
watch
to
it."
see you?
Well, to be honest, the signal was very, very like minor. Like, it's barely like it was like a.
Anthony.
I think I might have done one of these.
Yeah.
Like, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll know what hand I'm doing.
Yeah, he's just signaling to come. But
Signaling.
what we didn't realize is his back of his head was facing us. So
That's true.
He didn't see it.
Yeah.
No, but the bonus features for it are great. It's such a great movie, such a great surprise. And that's all I'll say about that.
Nice.
Cool.
I watched a lot this week.
Tell us.
I won't lie. Obviously, Avengers Endgame, which we'll get into. The day we recorded the podcast, I had a day off and I had a lot of work to do at home, but it was luckily I could do it in front of a TV. So I put on Deadpool 2. I don't know why. I think we talked about it. That's why.
Is it on Crave?
It is on Crave, but I have it on iTunes.
Okay.
So I watched it there, and then after that, I was kind of in the mood for something Will Smith. So I put on Bad Boys. And then my mom heard me watching Bad Boys, and she was like, "I love this movie," and she's like quoting it, and I was like, "What the hell, mom?
Mom?"
Like it really threw me off. I was like,
Did she
"Okay."
quote the beginning scene?
She was quoting everything.
With the Popeye chicken eating?
Popeye chicken eating thing, everything. Oh, it was KFC chicken eating thing. Was he?
No, was that? Remember the big
yeah.
black guy who
call your mom. Ask her to.
Mom, hey Shiwi. Anyways, I hope no one's Siri activated from that. By the way,
that was a great movie. I love Bad Boys.
Great movie. Tia Leone, obviously
good.
Martin Lawrence, and William Smith.
I hope the third one is good.
Yeah.
Even though it's called Bad Boys for Life, which I feel like should be the fourth one.
Save that for the fourth movie.
But no.
And
then I watched Horrible Bosses because I was watching a lot of Always Sunny as well, so I love Charlie Day.
Yeah.
That movie is so funny. That movie is so good, Horrible Bosses. The fact that Kevin Spacey can kill it as a comedian.
Yeah.
The fact that Colin Farrell is this like skeezy, like coked out dude.
Such a well played role, right?
His comedy in that film is so good. If you go back and watch it, it's so funny.
It reminds me a lot of Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder.
Exactly.
We're just like, how you're funny?
Yeah. Exactly the feeling that I got. And it also has a small little cameo by Her Royal Highness Meghan Markle. She has a little tiny role in there too.
Yeah.
And then last night, I was showing my friends. We'd kind of do like a movie night, and I showed them The Kings of Summer, directed by Jordan Vogt Roberts as well.
Yeah. Beautiful movie.
Love that movie.
Yeah.
It's so funny and gets funnier over time as well.
Yeah. One of the best coming of age movies, I'd say. Like
I would say so.
If you're looking for something in the vein of like a Ferris Bueller, 16 Candles, but of like this generation, I would point you towards
with
that.
today's kind of humor.
With today's humor and
Have
everything.
you ever seen it?
No.
You should watch it. It's really funny.
Great movie.
Yeah,
Great
Nick
movie.
Offerman's in it.
Who's in it?
Nick Offerman's
And
in it.
who else is in it, Shay?
Kumail Nanjiani's in it for a second.
There's a kid, right?
Yeah,
Love Simon, the kid from Love Simon and Jurassic World.
Yeah, Nick something?
Nick
Robinson?
Robinson.
Yeah.
Am I making
Nate
that up?
Robinson or Nick Robinson?
I think it's Nick. And
Nate
he's also
Robinson's
Jurassic
somebody else.
World.
Yeah, Jurassic World
Yeah.
kid. He's in it. It's just really funny, man. Like, you got to give it a watch, I'd say. And everybody else that's out there, The Kings of Summer, directed by Jordan Vogt Roberts, who did Kong Skull Island.
Yeah.
And he's doing the Metal Gear Solid movie.
Yeah. Whenever that comes out.
Whenever that
comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's do this, guys.
Is it time?
Let's do this. Do the theme song ready from your mouth?
Ba, 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 ba. Oh wait, Avengers theme song?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that Avengers or is that Captain America? Because Captain America, I think that's Captain America.
Captain America's bum, 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 bum. That's Captain America. All right, guys. Welcome. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast.
So before we get into the topic of the show, we'll give you guys, 1 second?
Yeah.
Or 2 seconds?
This is your official spoiler warning.
Spoiler. Sunday.
Thanos.
So we're going to be going into some spoilery talks.
Let's do it.
So let's give it 2 seconds. Disconnect your phone, rip out your battery, whatever you need to do, okay? So 1,
throw out your phone.
2, Iron Man dies.
God, man. There's no going back now.
There's no going back
There's
now.
no going back.
I don't think he's dead.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
He's just trying not to owe me a burger right now.
Yes,
Wait, no, I don't owe you a burger.
What do you mean? So let's get the burger bet on the line here.
I said no one would die?
Yeah.
You said nobody.
And you said
I said either Cap or Iron Man.
I don't remember this conversation.
Oh, man. We got to go back into the old podcast.
We got to go into the archives.
We got to go time jump into the quantum realm to listen to the old podcast.
Yep.
And
my boy didn't die. That's all that matters.
But according to Anthony's theory, Iron Man's not dead. So
right. Captain America
does he still owe you a burger?
Well, I said Cap or Iron Man's going to die.
Yeah, but according to Anthony, he's not dead.
Iron Man's not. Yeah, I don't care what Anthony thinks. I care what the movie told me.
The movie didn't die. See, the movie, the way it ended, it just doesn't seem like. Well, you didn't really see his body, right?
Where's the body?
They just put his little heart thing on a reef and they send it out in the water.
Man, this is the thing. 10 years down the line, he comes back. I will buy you a burger back from you.
If they send his body on the water, just like they did in Lord of the Rings, and then they shot like arrows,
why would they do that?
And he burst into flames, then he's dead.
Why are they giving him a Viking funeral though? I don't understand.
Because that's a warrior's funeral. Every warrior dies by the flame.
In the next episode,
what's his name? Darth Vader.
Yep.
And whoever.
A good death is his own reward.
Yep, I've heard that before.
Anyways, okay.
Let's try and somehow explain what this movie's about.
Okay. Do you want to do it? Because I feel like you know how to do it.
Yeah, you could do it really well.
Yeah.
This movie. Okay, so going into this movie, we really didn't have any idea how the hell they're going to get out of what just happened. So to recap Infinity War.
I kind of knew.
Anthony knew. Nothing surprises Anthony.
Anthony's seen it all.
So Thanos snaps his fingers. Half the universe goes. This movie picks up basically right after that, and we see Hawkeye and his daughter and his wife and his 2 sons. They get poofed away. Poofed away, and Hawkeye's there just like, it's my time to go kill some people now. So literally, this movie just starts off on the most horrific way possible.
So was Hawkeye's motive that he's just trying to get at the people that didn't get snapped?
I think
that are bad.
Yeah. So the way I took it is that like in the comics, he becomes this character Ronin.
Yes.
Right. So he's basically becomes like this, almost like a Deadpool type character. Like he's like a hitman.
Yeah.
/ mercenary / I'm going to kill people that don't deserve to be alive. I'm going to take on, basically still doing Avenger work, but like having no mercy.
Darker. Yeah.
So he's just like straight up killing cartels, killing people, and taking them out of the picture.
Right.
Then we see Tony adrift in space. And as we saw...
Skinny Tony.
Like,
you think that was CG or that was really...
CG. I think a bit of CG and maybe some makeup to make him look really scary.
There's definitely some like overlaying of his face.
Yeah.
He looks skinny.
He looked really scary in that. But basically, at the end of Captain Marvel, or I guess the mid-credit scene, we saw that Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, Don Cheadle, and them, they're trying to find out what happened to Nick Fury, so they work on his pager, and then Captain Marvel shows up, right? So I took that as Rocket, since he was there as well too, told her how to track the ship, and she finds Tony, brings his ship to Earth. Tony is besides himself, gets really angry at Captain America, and basically from there, Captain Marvel's like, let me go kill Thanos, and they do just that. Thor basically cuts off Thanos' head. They find the planet that he's been on because he used the stones to destroy the stones, and yeah,
great scene. What did you think of that one?
Where were you guys up to this point? What were you guys feeling? Was it like subverting expectations for you at all?
No.
No?
No.
Did you think that Thanos...
I didn't think he would destroy the stones. I didn't think it would lead that way.
What did you expect?
I thought there was going to be some sort of trying to find him and then grab the stones and then revert everything. I didn't think he'd destroy... Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Destroy the stones in the first 5-10 minutes of that.
Yeah,
movie.
I mean, I think that's the thing that surprised me is that basically they're like, okay, let's go get him. They found out where he was. Thor, he tells them, he's like, hey, I destroyed the stones with the stones, so there was no temptation by anybody. And this is the world that we're living in. And Thor basically just chops his head off at that point, right?
That was a great moment. Like that caught me by surprise. I was like, "Whoa!" And then like it goes black, and you're like, "Oh, is it done?"
The movie's done. Roll credits.
It's like I wouldn't even put it past Marvel to say the movie's 3 hours and then the movie's like 10 minutes long. Like I mean, like not 10 minutes, but like if it was like an hour-long movie, I wouldn't put it past them to say it's 3 hours and then they just blindside us with a shorter film.
And I think the most unexpected part for me was that they were like, "Okay, you know what? That's done." Black screen. 5 years later.
That was a huge jump.
Huge jump. And I love that. I would say, if anything, I would say 25% of this movie, it's a bit slower, but it's also, the movie needs that because it's basically showing the fallout of this world reacting to half its population going, right? Mm-hmm. You see what Black Widow is up to. She's basically running the Avengers compound still, but there's not much she could really do because she's like on her own. Everybody's kind of gone their own ways, right? And then go on.
But in all like in the grand scheme of things,
yeah, of course, yeah.
It actually made sense to like wipe out half the world or half the universe.
What do you mean?
Everyone was happier, I would say.
Wow.
You used to be more happier?
Yeah, man. You don't have to deal with...
You're Thanos.
You wouldn't have to deal with all that population. You don't have to worry about saving people because everyone's pretty much safe in a sense. Okay. Yeah, you lost your loved ones. And
my mom and dad are gone. But...
Yeah, but they're on to a better place, right?
Yeah. We don't know where they are. They're, I guess, disappeared, right?
Yeah, I would be Thanos.
You would definitely be Thanos.
He sympathized with him.
He's like, man, yeah, I believe in Thanos.
Man, when I saw Infinity War, and I'm like, I 100%.
I understand what this guy is saying.
Make the world population half again. That's what it is.
So basically, we're seeing the fallout of what's happening, right? Yeah. Like these characters are at their lowest, right? You see that, as we said, Black Widow is still running Avengers compound. She's in contact with Captain Marvel, who's trying to help the other planets. She said there's thousands of other planets in this universe that
I get that, but like you are a human. And at the end of the day, you're human. You should be.
But what's there to do on Earth for her now, right?
She's space police.
Yeah, but like I guess so. But at the end of the day, you're a human. Like,
no, but her life since being reborn, I guess, has been being this cosmic character.
I never understood Captain Marvel's like whole thing.
She's
were you
surprised
leaving
though?
Earth.
Were you surprised that she was barely in the movie?
Yeah.
Like
I did not dig her haircut.
There'd be a build up in
her
this
haircut
film.
was awful.
It's from the comics, right? I think they were just doing fan service there.
I feel like they could have slicked it back or something.
You think so?
Just her hair looks.
It looked really bad. Yeah, I get that it was a comic nod, but it was like, it
was a little jarring after seeing her in Captain Marvel. Right? Here's the thing: I'm not surprised Captain Marvel was used the way she was because one, she's very powerful, but also I think it would be a disservice to, after 21 movies, be like, hey, here's this character we're introducing in a prequel movie. And then she's just going to come and save the day.
Oh, for sure.
And that's what I loved, how she was used in the beginning of the movie. She was like, yeah, I'm going to go kill Thanos. BRB.
Yeah.
And basically, even though she went to go kill him, there was nothing she could do because he's already done it, right?
Yeah.
Again, I don't understand her character. Don't tell me. Like, she doesn't know Thanos is around and living and taking over and looking for these stones. She's space police, most powerful being.
She should have been hearing about this.
It's just her character doesn't make sense right now. Like
I get it.
It's just, I don't know. Maybe again, I feel like she's not getting enough story.
Well, she's been around all this time, yet now she chooses to appear when we've been having these issues for some time.
Right.
Like when New York was happening.
Right.
Where was she?
But again, like, and Kevin Feige, like we spoke about this when her movie came out. Just because she didn't come doesn't mean that she wasn't.
Then then you can't make her that powerful because it makes her. To me, she's like this god.
No, of course,
she's more powerful than Thor apparently.
Yeah, or like she's super powerful.
She's super powerful. So she's worried about other galaxies or other.
But I guess
planets.
the movie's justification was she's like, there are thousands of planets where everything that's happening on Earth are happening on these planets. So that was at least the movie's justification for it, right? That she's trying to help other planets out, right?
Yeah. So
I get it. You wanted her to be snapped away too.
Yeah, she should have been snapped away.
So basically, Ant-Man comes out of the quantum realm. He gets, because a rat kind of walks over the...
That was kind of silly as well.
Yeah, but I guess imagine Doctor Strange seeing all of the
moments
possible futures. He's like, that rat knocks him out. And it's basically, he's coming back after 5 years, but for him, it's felt like 5 hours, right?
I think it would have made more sense if, like, oh my God, Kevin Chang. No, what's his name?
The security guard?
Security guard.
Yeah.
Ken Jeong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken Jeong.
I think it would have been funnier because he had no lines and it was so weird.
Yeah.
No, it was just
him having
watched him,
even
like,
a
walk
word.
off,
Yeah.
then...
I think it'd been funnier if he went to like the vent and then actually hit a button and then like Ant-Man popped out and they had this weird like funny exchange.
Right. Yeah, that would have been funnier for
over
sure.
a rat walking. But that's just me nitpicking right now.
Yeah, of course. Like I think in a movie that's 3 hours, you're okay to trim him just getting thrown back into the world, right?
Right.
He finds that his daughter has now aged 5 years, which was a super emotional scene. Him being reconciled with her, and just basically figuring out that, hey, there's a way we could do time travel. They go to Tony. Tony figures it out. Tony now has a daughter.
Yes.
And he doesn't want to lose it because Tony's seeing that as his second chance, right?
Yeah.
And basically, they figure out where their time heist now is to go through time and collect the stones. Now, what I actually really appreciated how the movie did time travel wasn't that by going back you're going to change the future. It's like basically you're going to a different reality. That's which I liked, because the whole thing of doing something in the past and then you like fade away in the future, I don't like that. I think that's just like a cop out, and especially that would be kind of silly storytelling for a movie, again, like 22 movies in, to do something like that. What was your guys'? How did you guys like how time travel was done in this movie?
I always find time travel confusing, so I still don't get it what they did, and how it like connects, and I just don't get it.
I got you. So I guess
I know they went back in time, but
yeah,
I don't know. This is just weird.
Yeah, for me, it's I don't get time travel either. So whatever you throw at me, I'll be like, yeah, sure, totally, whatever.
Yeah.
But I do like that. Yeah, it wasn't again, confused a little bit because it does seem like towards the end that does happen with the whole Captain America thing,
right?
But the fact that, which we'll get to, but the fact that like they just went to a different version, were able to get the stones back, bring it over, and then or snap again to bring back what they want.
Right. And I like too that they said that basically their plan was, let's go back in time to wherever these stones were, and then we're going to, I guess, travel back and put them back to the moment they were taken in those realities, so they're not making a bunch of chaotic timelines, right?
Right.
Right off the bat, the first, I guess, time travel place they go to is 2012 New York. What a cool moment. Going into basically the first Avengers movie again, and seeing kind of things from a different side, right? That was so cool.
It was a very funny moment. It was very cool. It was very nostalgic.
Yeah.
They were back at the first film, and just that scene, those scenes to me were so funny.
Yeah. Like there were scenes that weren't even like really necessarily action happening, but just kind of seeing like things that happened immediately after, seeing that almost elevator fight.
Yeah.
What a cool, like,
yeah.
That blew my mind.
Hail Hydra?
Like, the Hail Hydra, where you're seeing the same goons from Winter Soldier that they're like, oh yeah, that's Hydra, but we didn't know it was Hydra yet.
Yeah.
So, right.
And Ant-Man's just like, you guys didn't know those were bad guys? They look pretty evil to me.
They look like bad guys.
And then again, obviously, what was it, a few years ago where Captain America had that comic run where he was Hydra?
Yeah, that was Secret of Hydra.
It's just funny that they almost addressed that as well.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That was a really good series.
And then he just kind of like, Captain America just kind of leaves the elevator after saying Hail Hydra.
Yeah.
That smirk, it's just like, the thing I love so much about Endgame is that they found this way of balancing like humor with great storytelling and also fan service, where they were still able to find a way to tell this giant story, right?
Yeah. They do a really good job of making those three elements cohesive.
Yeah.
I know, like, we've been pretty deep on plot here, but like, I guess just leaving the movie, guys, like, what was your like initial feelings on it?
I just had a lot more questions. Like, what's after this?
Like, what's coming next?
What's coming next?
Did you feel you didn't feel any type of like finality to it?
Not really.
No,
because with comics and with these characters, there's never ever a finale,
right?
A final like version of it. It's
right.
never ending. So yeah, Tony might die, and and Steve might be old, but who knows? Like look at Loki. Loki's somehow alive in a sense,
right?
Because he has a stone,
and that's what I was going to say. That's where we kind of see one of the first diverging, I guess, realities where Loki now escaped with the time stone, right?
Yeah.
So is that where his TV series is going to spring off of from?
I guess you're right. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I think for like actors like Tom Hiddleston, where he has a big name, but he can still do a TV show. But then you have like a Chris Evans or a Robert Downey Jr. where their time has come to an end, not only because of Robert Downey Jr.'s age or whatever and so on and so forth, but because they're just too big. They're too big names now to go and keep doing TV shows or keep doing these movies.
Right. But also, like, I feel like we've seen there's not much, again, like, for me personally, like, we've seen Iron Man in 10 movies now.
We're good.
Like, I think there wouldn't be anything else left for him to do other than die to surprise me.
Right.
Right. Like, I've seen that movie. I've seen him battling in his, like, I've seen all that. So, like, for him to now, like, again, we're skipping over towards the end now.
Right.
For him to die saving everybody, I think that was such an impactful way to go.
What did you think of his last line where he's like, "I'm Iron Man"?
The best possible way he could have gone. Him putting putting the Infinity Stones on his Iron Man gauntlet, and just after Thanos saying, "I am inevitable," and he's like, "And I am Iron Man," and him snapping.
The one guy without superpowers.
Iron Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like he's.
What
like,
would you want him to say instead of Iron Man?
No.
I am Tony Stark.
I am
Thanos. What?
What?
Oh, that'd been a great twist.
I was mentioning this.
Imagine you turn evil, dude. Oh my god, sick! And he joins with Thanos.
Listen, man, you're getting too excited at this evil timeline now. Damn. I was mentioning this to you guys before we started recording that.
Okay.
In Infinity War, Doctor Strange, as we know, he saw 14 million whatever futures, and now in this movie again, that portal scene when everybody's coming back, before we get to that scene, like how it made us go bonkers, like there's that moment where Doctor Strange kind of holds up his finger to Tony Stark with the one. He's holding up a one. And this is after Tony has asked him. He's like, "You saw 14 million futures. Is this the one where we win?" And basically Doctor Strange tells him that if I told you that, it wouldn't happen. And what I love why this is impactful is because basically the 2014 Thanos, because Thanos is dead in our timeline, but the 2014 Thanos sees his future because there's two Nebulas, basically, she's projecting what the other one is seeing, and he sees that he's accomplishing his goals, and because he sees this, he wants to try and accomplish it faster because he knows he's going to be killed or whatever, right? And I just love the fact that basically Iron Man not knowing his future is what allows him to accomplish it and be the hero, and Thanos, who knows that he's going to succeed in the future and he knows how he does it, is what makes him fail as well. So like, there's a lot of amazing parallel there, which I really liked.
I feel bad for his daughter.
Nebula?
No.
Gamora?
Iron Man's daughter.
Iron Man's daughter, yeah.
Because really, like, at the end of it, it was, he really, like, he
loved her a lot. 3,000.
Who doesn't love their own child? But
what I'm trying
to say is, like, it took a lot from him to give up that chance of being her father to saving the world, right? Like, he didn't even want to worry about going back in time and doing all that stuff,
and that's
right?
The thing,
He's like, I have my chance. I want to be a father. Which, to tell you the truth, I would have done the same. Like, okay, the world's gone. Like, it is what it is. I would have...
Don't reverse time. Bring the people we lost to now. Yeah. Which was a big thing. I thought that's what almost threw me, like, for a loop, too. Because, like, your expectations almost when time travel's involved is, like, let's stop him from doing the snap and going back in time. But I think it was a lot braver of them to be like, no, let's continue in 2023 when this movie takes place, basically, and says, no, let's bring the lost people back. Yeah.
It's such a weird, like, who was I talking? I forgot who was talking to. But when people come back, they're 5 years behind the people who
stayed, right?
So
you're born in the same year.
Yes,
but
Ant-Man's daughter is the example, who's now grown up 5 years, but now whoever she was friends with are still it's
could
so
be older,
weird.
could be younger. It's
we're thinking about. I was thinking about that when it comes to Peter going back to school.
Yeah,
like he's in high school that last scene of the film. Now, is he going to school again with the same people, or like the ones that didn't go to Dust? Did they graduate?
I'm assuming that
they all went to Dust.
All the kids.
I was watching the trailer, and they like his friends.
All his friends at least were dusted.
Yeah.
His friends were definitely dusted
for sure. But yeah, there's probably kids who went along and are in college or university now, and he's back in whatever grade he was in, right?
Yeah.
Going back to Far From Home trailer, you also see that they removed the dates on his passport, right? Did you guys notice that?
No, I didn't notice
that.
So
when you see the trailer for Far From Home, there's a scene of his passport, and you see like a funny picture of him, but there's no dates. There's no years on the actual passport photos. So they're probably anticipating something like this.
I was looking at his passport this morning.
Wow.
I didn't notice that. So
interesting.
But yeah, I mean, another big death in the movie is Black Widow.
Yeah.
Sacrificing herself to get the Soul Stone and finally paying back her debts to Clint Barton, right? Hawkeye.
I mean, like they've had this connection for so long, and it makes sense. So it's, I mean, it came out of nowhere, but I like that it kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I liked it
in some ways. It was like okay, that's earned. Now I truly wonder though, will we be seeing a Black Widow movie? I hope not, because I kind of want this Infinity Saga now to come to an end.
Yeah.
And, move on to something else. So bringing back Black Widow would only be a prequel, really.
I would assume so, right? Because they can't. I guess by the time travel universe jumping rules they've set, they can't really bring a Black Widow from another universe, because then that's taking her away from her world, right?
Yeah, kind of like what they're doing with Gamora.
So Gamora, basically, the 2014 Gamora, they brought her into this time. So is she still here? Did she get dusted away? We don't really know.
At the end of that film, when you have Peter looking for Gamora.
Peter Quill. Yeah.
Peter Quill.
Mm-hmm. Looking for her, right? So we lost Black Widow.
They could. They still have that option of going back in time or forward in time.
You never know. If you told me right now that there's going to be like a 6-episode Captain America series of him just returning the stones, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest shock, other than Iron Man dying at the end, which super emotional scene, right?
Did you like his death?
I loved it.
You
didn't? Did he? I don't even remember. Did he say anything?
I'm Iron Man.
He said, "I am Iron Man." He snapped, and then basically you see Spider-Man rush over to him and say, "I'm sorry. We did it. We won." And then you see Pepper come over to him, and pretty much the only things he says is he says Pep, because he's acknowledging that she's there, but he doesn't.
Do we know what he died of? He just died of immense power to the
immense power.
Yeah, because we've seen the Hulk tried to use the gauntlets originally, and you saw him get just his arm just totally got. And mushy. Thanos just totally their arms got destroyed.
And you said he's only human, right?
Right.
So only human.
What did you guys? So I would say the biggest scene in the movie is when those portals start opening, and you see all the dusted characters come through them.
All my homies.
I would say the biggest for me would have been Captain America's Thor
with Mjolnir.
Yeah. Oh my god,
amazing scene.
That's something straight out of the comics.
Oh yeah, and that's something that's been teased since Age of Ultron, and then him finally saying Avengers Assemble, and he's holding Mjolnir.
When the hammer rose up next to Thor, I'm like, oh my gosh, and it goes right to him.
Yeah,
and he grabs it, and he combos.
Yeah.
He does,
and he lightning strikes him. He uses every single part of that hammer. It was like, oh, this is great. This is amazing.
What a scene, honestly. Then
such a great scene.
And this is what's so hard. There's so many points of this movie that we didn't even touch on yet. Thor being overweight now.
Yeah, chubby Thor.
Chubby Thor, chunk Thor,
dad body Thor.
Like Korg and Meek being with him in New
Paul
Asgard. There's almost we could have a 6-hour podcast just dissecting everything, but it's just I'm overwhelmed. I saw it again today, and I was just this is just out of a fever dream, this movie. The scene of Captain America looking at Spider-Man and saying, "Hey, Queens, heads up," and he throws Mjolnir, and then Spider-Man attaches to the web of the hammer and flies through the sky, and then Valkyrie catches him. I feel like I'm writing fan fiction right now.
It's actually amazing, and we've got some questions that hopefully let us dive into it further. So Nicole asks, "Why does my heart hurt?
Why?
Why?
It shouldn't."
Oh, should probably go see a doctor, Nicole.
Go see a doctor.
Go see a doctor. Why do you think your heart hurts?
I guess because it's the last movie, right? it's the end of these characters, right? So you're never gonna see him again, or you're never gonna see those actors play those characters again,
right?
But you never know. Who knows?
You never. It's the door is never fully.
There's
closed,
always
but...
CG, you know, CG. Robert Downey.
Michael Downey.
I'm telling you guys, 20 years from now, it'll be like live. It'll be real.
I'm not downing you. I'm not downing you at all.
Leads to a whole bunch downing him?
I'm not downing. No, I'm not downing.
Do you think Robert Downey Jr. sold his CG rights to Disney for more of these movies?
I actually believe that they already have it.
Yeah.
In Iron Man 3, I remember when Iron Man 3 was coming out, there was a big. I remember news stories everywhere saying that there was a shot of it in that movie where Robert Downey Jr. is fully CG because he injured himself. You know the scene in Iron Man 3 where basically he's trying to call the Iron Man suit to him, but only he gets like a boot and a gauntlet. And like there's a scene where he's like going everywhere and that model of him is fully CG. Mm-hmm. So guarantee they all have the CG. They have their CG models done.
And that was back in Iron Man 3, which is 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Even with Captain America being old, they never killed him. Like he's still part of that universe.
He can still fight.
Yeah.
Well, he can still be in movies. Like no one's not gonna ask for his advice.
We don't, and here's the thing, like, we're, just because, he's old, we may see him again, right?
Right.
Like, there's no telling, right? There's no telling what they're going to do with him. I just think that where the Marvel Universe is going to go from this point is that we're going to see stories of other characters that aren't directly tied to him, almost like Star Wars, ending the Star Wars saga, be like, or the Skywalker saga, and being like, we don't need to have Palpatine and Darth Vader and Luke in these as like the crutch of these movies now, right?
Mm-hmm. It's so hard.
It's so hard, right? Because these are the characters that we fell in love with.
They're even to this day, they're always going to be the main go-to guys.
Yeah.
So it's hard to like not see them. Right. And I think that's what leads to the question, why does my heart hurt? It's because these are the people who will always be Marvel. They're synonymous with that name.
Right.
So without them,
who do you got? Couple more questions. Let's see what we can get through as well. Jira asks a couple of ones. He asks, did Captain America mess up the timeline?
Yes.
I'm going to say he created, basically on their rules, their main timeline, the timeline that this movie takes place in, that's the old Captain America is the one coming back who just finished living his life in another reality, and they're bringing him back.
Why did he spawn on the bench?
Because
he should have spawned on
Daniel doesn't have an answer to that.
Listen, I don't think that, because it doesn't, based on the rules that they set, I think they took some creative liberties and being like, let him spawn on the bench. He wasn't just there was no way for him to live his whole life in that reality again, because that's not how they set up these rules to happen.
So wait, he lived that life.
Yeah, he went back. He went back.
He went back in another time, or he went
back in another timeline to 1940. So anytime they said that they time traveled, it's another reality.
Okay.
And then he lived that whole life in that reality, and then they called him back to his reality.
Who called him back?
The Hulk. He said he'd be back in 5 seconds.
But he never showed up back on the...
Right, he didn't come back on that.
He missed his time jump, right?
Yeah, he missed his mark, which I'm assuming... I don't know what... I don't
so
have
he
the
just
answer
landed on a chair?
He just...
Where the hell's the hammer?
Well, he brought it back to
that
the
guy,
timeline.
He's not Cap. I'm telling you, Cap,
he's
Cap
Joe
is
Biden.
That guy looked like Joe Biden.
He did look
like Joe Biden.
But he brought back the hammer to
Mr.
Thor's
Vice President.
timeline, right? So he wouldn't mess. Yeah, he did.
How did he get there?
Because they literally.
But how did he get to Asgard?
Because they could drop wherever they want. They literally did that in the time heist in the movie. They dropped them in whatever.
Daniel's right about that. He's wrong about everything else, but he's right about that.
Wait, I'm right about everything.
They were given specific directions to go to specific realities. Yeah, and how did he get to all these different realities?
Dramatic pause.
So much of a pause there.
How do you get to that many realities and even get to Asgard, which is not a place that you could just fly to?
No, but it is. They're aliens. Asgardians are aliens. They're not like gods. They've believed them to be gods, but they've showed that they're
gods.
Yeah, they're very powerful aliens.
Were you guys
cool, man? I'm gonna say they're gods.
Yeah, I'm not. Listen, I'll treat them as gods, but basically, the Hulk even says they're like he programmed all these areas for him to go to and to return the stones to not mess up those timelines.
So I think he did. You think he did?
He messed up the timeline?
Yeah,
I think he messed it up.
I think he did something weird.
He definitely messed up another timeline, but he didn't mess up the main.
No. He messed up someone's timeline.
He messed up. He
messed up someone's timeline.
I'm 100% agreeing.
Sharon
with that.
Carter's dead.
She never happened.
She never happened.
No, he took the wife. He took Peggy from somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely messed someone up.
Were you guys upset by a lack of a Hulk fight, or especially no rematch with Thanos?
Yeah.
Were you upset with that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't really.
They underutilized the Hulk, the power of the Hulk.
I think this was more of a Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
Moment than anything else.
I would have loved to seen the Hulk wreck stuff, but I've also seen him.
I would have loved to see the Hulk and
though.
Thanos have another fight.
I think it'd been cool
without the Power Stone, because he had the Power Stone the first time.
No, he took it off.
He had the Power Stone on.
No, he took it off when he fought the Hulk in Infinity War. Did he not?
He had the gauntlet on. Did he not?
I think he took it off.
He had the gauntlet on. Yeah. Actually, I don't know.
I think he took it off when he fought the Hulk.
Let's look for.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna get a fact check
but
on that.
At the end of the day, like I think I was okay with not having a huge fight scene, because it was nice that we finally we've seen Hulk smash over and over again. That now for him not to smash is fine, and the fact that they kind of like nod to that as well when they do when they go back to New York.
Yeah,
and like he sees old Hulk breaking and destroying everything, and he's kind of embarrassed by it.
And he's like, that's a gratuitous.
Like, awkward. Yeah, like, you know what? That's fine. We moved on from that.
Yeah, I loved when he gave, again, such a weird scene. Like, again, if somebody was breaking down the plot of this movie, they'd be like, Hulk gave Ant-Man a taco?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Just because the Hulk's face, it's so wholesome, it's so genuine.
And Mark Ruffalo did a great job.
And and it was really cool seeing like the Hulk, but also like smart. I kind of like that. Yeah.
And this question's already been answered, but will we see Tony as an AI in the future movie?
Yes.
What do you think, Anthony? Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah,
you think so too?
His consciousness is there, so why not?
His consciousness is there.
Consciousness, like
where's his consciousness?
I'm sure that I'm sure he's uploaded it somewhere.
Maybe, yeah.
Like I wouldn't put it past Tony Stark to upload.
Oh, for sure.
I think for his daughter's sake, he did it.
Yeah,
yes.
I feel like
he's created something for his daughter.
Like when you see how Jarvis was a creation of his old butler.
Exactly.
Maybe he comes back in that sense of being like an AI with a personality as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's an easy way of Downey coming back without actually having to put too much hours into it.
I agree with you. Asha asks, is there anything extra you wanted to see addressed in the movie from the Marvel Universe? Anthony, you probably have some things that you want to throw out there.
What was the question again? Sorry, I wasn't paying.
No worries. Is there anything extra you wanted to see addressed in the movie from the Marvel Universe?
All right. Yeah, no, I don't know. I gotta have to think about that question.
Cool. What about you, Daniel?
Honestly, like I'm a huge fan of Vision. Like I love the way Vision was handled in Infinity War and Civil War. I would have loved to see. Again, it's too big of a movie, like for him to find a way to bring Vision back, because Vision had a death.
Yeah.
In Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they didn't just randomly bring him back in this movie, but also as a fan of him, I want to see his character again.
Yeah, it would be great to see his character. Yeah. No, I think they did a great job with everything, and there's nothing really more I wanted from Endgame, or even especially in the Marvel Universe. Like I think Endgame tied it up also well. So
many plot lines were closed in this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they really made sure to treat this like an ending.
Oh, he's wearing the gauntlet, eh?
Is he wearing the gauntlet during the fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wearing the gauntlet during the fight.
Interesting.
There's no way he's just knocking Hulk out just like that.
Destroyed him. Mazen asks, why couldn't they get Black Widow back when Cap went back to return the stones?
Yeah, and I think we spoke about this a little bit. That I think
alternate reality.
Yeah, by taking her from another reality, it's messing up. It's making up a bunch of timelines, as the Ancient One told the Hulk in the movie, saying they need to return all the time stones back, or it's going to have a bunch of chaos in the world, right?
Naveed asked 2 questions here. First one is, what did you think about the way they treated Thor's character as a send-off? Do you think it was a send-off?
No.
I don't think it was a send-off. No.
I don't know. How many movies has he signed up for?
I think this is... I don't know how much he's on now, because like this is what, his 7th movie in the
I feel like he's on board for quite a bit of
I think he could do more. Chris Hemsworth could do more. I'm down for it. And especially if it's as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Totally down for that.
Yeah.
Do you guys think now we'll see Thor in the next Guardians movie?
I
100%.
hope so.
I hope so, right?
100%.
Like it'd be weird to have him on the ship and then not have him in the movie,
That
right?
last like that quip between him and Quill
killed me.
Hilarious.
We all know who's the captain.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
totally.
Leading back to Ash's question.
Yeah.
The Watcher.
The Watcher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanted to see,
because the Watcher is essentially he watches everything that ever happens in the whole universe doesn't really speak.
We saw them in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as a little.
Oh yeah.
As a throwaway.
It would have been cool if we saw
more of them.
More or what. At least a Watcher somewhere.
What about the Warlock?
Because the Watcher leads to
Adam Warlock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another. That's the guy who kills Thanos.
Yeah, but again, if Adam Warlock just randomly showed up in this movie,
I know that. Yeah.
I think now that we're apparently getting an Eternals movie, we'll probably see the Watchers.
Because the Watcher leads to Galactus.
Yeah,
which is huge.
Which I think
huge. Now Disney owns.
It's
I guess
possible, right?
But like that would have kind of stirred up some great conversation.
Yeah, but I mean, now where the Marvel Universe is slated, I think they have an amazing well of content to pull from to tell future stories at Phase 4, Phase 5, and beyond, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy it's again trying to put into words what happened in this movie.
Let's bet. Who do you think they base the next
like the
10
next big
years?
The next big bad character?
Yeah. Big, not even bad, but like who are the main people who are going to be part of this 10-year universe?
So they technically own the Fantastic Four now.
Yeah.
They technically own X-Men now.
Right.
We won't be seeing X-Men for a little while.
Right.
I think.
Or Fantastic Four.
Which,
again, I think a well-done Fantastic Four movie. Like, I would love to see Reed Richards and that family in this world, but I just think that we've been burned so much by Fantastic Four that I think Marvel's going to be like, let's not do it right away.
Let's relax on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll definitely see Doctor Strange still, and you'll get
Black Panther, of course.
Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch.
Sure.
Well, I mean, she's getting a show,
TV
right?
series,
Oh, yeah,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
With the Vision.
Yeah, WandaVision, it's called.
It's set in one part of the series is in the 50s.
Yeah, or it's supposed to have like a 50s vibe to it, I think she said. Or did she actually say it's going to be like in the 50s?
Oh, I thought she said.
I read. Maybe I'm just.
Did you watch the video when she was actually talking?
No, I just watched like a quote from it afterwards. That's just going to have like a 1950s vibe to it.
Okay, I thought she said it would take place somewhere in the 50s.
That'd be a weird.
Well, we don't know where Vision is, right?
Yeah, well, he's dead, right?
He's dead.
He's dead.
But like again,
is he dead?
He's
the Anthony.
Well, they could. He's a robot, so they could rebuild him. He's an android, right?
Well, yeah, he's in the internet somewhere, right?
Yeah, but also, the Mind Stone was an integral part of him. So, what does that mean now that all the stones are being returned?
He was the Bicentennial Man.
He was. Robin Williams. Yeah. R.I.P.
Who else? We got Thor still. Guardians of the Galaxy.
and then the Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah.
And who do you think they introduce in the next 5 years?
We mentioned the Eternals. If the Eternals, or not the Internals. The
Eternals.
Or Eternals.
Which are going to be like Celestials, I guess. Again, super cosmic and out there. I don't know.
They're like the beings that gave birth to Thanos.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see them. I mean, again, Black Widow is rumored to be happening. Shang-Chi. Yeah, which is sure. I mean, like, I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
like, really?
They got again, bottom of the barrel now. We're getting to it, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if anyone can make it work, I guess it's Marvel Studios. Yeah, I mean, I hope we see Ant-Man again, but also he's kind of had a nice send off as well too in this movie.
Such a strange time, man.
Were you guys upset that he didn't crawl up Thanos' butt?
I was surprised he didn't die.
In Thanos' butt, or like just die in general?
Die in general. I would have killed him.
What?
No, I think killing Ant-Man would have made a huge like a lot of feelings come out.
I don't think so.
I think it would have been sad
everyone loves Paul Rudd.
Right.
Kill his character,
but he hasn't been that integral yet in the MCU. He hasn't.
He was really well used in this movie, I would say. They
very
know
well
how to use him
because he was a big plot device. Yeah. But overall, like, I don't think people have enough of a connection to the Ant-Man films as you would think they would.
Right. To just kill him off in this one. But
like, I think Black Panther has a bigger connection than Ant-Man.
I would. I mean, look how much money his movie made, right?
Yeah. Like, the Ant-Man films, I think, when I say they gross less, I mean that by MCU standards, they gross a little bit less.
Yeah, they made $700 million
versus
how dare
$800 million.
The audacity of them.
Yeah. Last two in here, they're not really questions, more so comments. Naveed also said that the movie was satisfying. He didn't find Thor very satisfying. He found that they redeemed him in Ragnarok, but then this. I disagree. And the reason why is I think that they took a huge risk by making Thor this overweight, like, real piece, just like
kind of looks like Gimli,
just
Big Lebowski.
Yeah. Like it was so funny to me, and people kept saying like, I hope he loses weight, and I'm like, nah, I kind of like that he's really fat and annoying right now.
If you look at Thor in some comic runs, like that looks like the Odin Force Thor, especially at the end of the movie where you see him with the braided beard. Like he looks pure Viking Thor.
Yeah,
where he looks really badass. But also like this movie, if anything, it only strengthened Thor for me because like this is a guy that fully embraced his destiny by killing Thanos, right? And then he's living 5 years now trying to deal with the fact that he wasn't able to change anything. And you see him kind of redeem himself by the end of this movie and just kick ass. And I think one of the more emotional moments for me in this movie is that when they go back to the Thor: The Dark World, which is easily for me the weakest of the MCU.
Easy.
And he has that connection with his mom again, and it's like that was like super emotional, and like he kind of just needed that pep talk from his mom, to get him back on the right track, which I thought was a really nice moment in that.
I would have liked to see fit Thor again.
Oh, I thought you were saying I would have liked to see Thor die. I'm like, of course you would, Anthony.
Well, no, I don't actually. I don't know.
We'll see.
I liked the fat Thor in the beginning, and then by the time he reached the fight with Thanos, he should have been
skinny
or jacked.
But my issue with that is that in Ragnarok he loses his eye, and then like literally 2 hours later in Infinity War he gains an eye again.
Right.
And to me it was kind of like, oh, he made this giant like character change, but it lasted literally no time at all.
Right.
For this movie to continue with that, I thought it was great. I thought it was a great way to like, I guess it was very controversial or very segregating to the viewers out there that love Thor, but that only means that he's just gonna get better.
Oh, for sure.
It's like a rebirth of the character, right?
Yeah, and it's just I think a continuation of how we saw him in Ragnarok, where he is still this all powerful being, but we're going to just see now where he takes it from there, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Last one we got in here, good friend of the show, Mike. I have all the questions.
Did he say any? Did he ask
He
questions?
didn't actually ask the question though, so I feel like he just has a lot of questions.
So do we redirect the questions to him?
So, Mike, if you're listening to this, can you please go to thistimewith.com/talk and ask us those questions? That way we can kind of have them for you next time. Just like Avengers Endgame, this podcast has been going on for a little long. We've gone just a few minutes over our usual runtime.
Our normal allotment of time, yeah.
Right, but we have a bigger budget for this one. That's why.
We do.
We've got that amazing poster giveaway from movieposter.com. So definitely a longer budget for this, a bigger budget for this episode.
And again, if you want to be eligible to win that, please write to thistimewith.com/talk your favorite character from Avengers Endgame. We're going to be posting this on our Instagram as well too, just to give you a double chance of winning. We're going to be choosing a winner by next week's episode, so definitely listen out for that to see if we choose you.
Those who choose Captain America get 5 extra votes. No, just kidding.
That is not how it's going to go. But
they get Anthony points.
They give Anthony. You get points in Anthony.
You get smiles.
You get
smiles from Anthony.
You get spared by Anthony when he becomes an ultimate evil villain.
It's true. It's definitely true. And if you have questions too about the movie, and if you want to hear our thoughts on stuff, send them to our site. You know where to go as well too.
Yeah, thistimewith.com/talk. Again, thank you so much to everybody out there. Huge shout out to movieposters.com.
Yeah, movieposter.com
for their amazing giveaway here. And thank you for Anthony to coughing in the mic. That was great.
I coughed outside the mic or around the mic.
Got you.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see the video. We'll see the video evidence about that after. But that was This Time with the Movie Podcast.
And see you next.